Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it will be a heavier topic that I haven't really had the chance to address, and I'd like to do so in this time now. So a video of mine previously barely touched on the topic, and I will be absolutely real with you. It was because I haven't made peace with the situation back then, and I wanted to remain generic about what had happened and leave it there. There were some points in my corporate life where I felt bullied and harassed when I worked at, let's just refer to this company as Company X. I want to be clear and say this feeling rose due to the actions of one individual and not the entire Company X. But I deeply enjoyed my time there. I made great friends who encouraged me every step of the way and tried whatever they could to help me. Therefore, my decision was the result due to one person and only one person who made me feel this way. I will also not be repeating this story as I have healed and moved on from it. Now, what really happened? Honestly, I never expected myself to quit because of a person. I've always moved organizations when it was appropriate, such as when a cycle ended or when a contract ended, or even back when I was younger, it was because I had to attend school. But when the days start to feel very, very suffocating, when I wanted to fall sick just so I could avoid this individual at work, I knew there was something wrong with how I was being treated and how I was feeling. The timing of everything was also very uncanny because something great has happened to me at work and I thought I was in a good place and everything was going well. I felt encouraged and it spurred me to work even harder. Then came a lot of changes in the way that my team was working. Instructions given to us were vague and a lot of times changed very often. I would then share my sentiments on how the changes were not helping the team, and we were often doing double the work or confused in terms of the direction of the team. I suspect this probably got me in a bit of trouble. I've had to just stick my head down and just pull the legwork. We were always told that we could share our opinions, so I thought it was a safe space to do so, but maybe not. A few months went past and I was called up by a colleague from HR at Company X and was told that my outfit was inappropriate and caused distraction to others in the organization. I felt very disappointed when that happened. I had been wearing the same clothes and my style did not change drastically. I then explained that I didn't understand how an outfit could distract others from their work, and that common reasons for distractions in the workplace were things like noise levels, chatty table mates, or internal issues such as stuff that happened at home, etc., that would distract a colleague from their work. This led me to feel somewhat harassed, unsure of who was looking at me and in what way. The saga ended shortly after, and I was called out once again and took the chance with a director level colleague, and they had then clarified my choice of tops to be considered when coming into the office. I bit my tongue and moved on from this situation. I figured it had nothing to do with my work in my field, so it was better to just adhere to their advice and move on. While I thought that was the end of it, it was just the beginning. And a few months later, I was identified to work under a performance improvement plan, which is short for PIP. Now, this shocked me to my core. I had minor indications that certain parts of my work needed work. My need to reply their chat messages on time and to improve on my technical work. But never to the point where it was critical and that I needed help or to be put under probation again, because that's what PIP meant, which is to place you back under probation again. Once identified in this PIP program, I then obliged to try it out, and I went on to the first part of the PIP program, which I thought went well, and I thought I could pass and move on from since I had completed the agreed upon deliverables. But when the time came for the review, I was told I had to move on to the last stage of the PIP. I started out at stage 1, but within a month I was told my performance had degraded and needed to be moved to stage 3 instead. Beyond stage 3 were also two options. 1, reallocation of my role, perhaps to a different team, or number 2, termination. This whole time, the entire PIP had been handled by one member of HR and the person that drove me to quit at the end of it. I don't need to be more explicit as to who this individual had been and what role they had played. Within the last stage of the PIP as well, several shady incidents had been observed. The individual who started the process then started asking me to report which table number I sat in every day, what time I came into the office, and eventually was checking on the websites I was browsing on my corporate laptop during and outside of my working hours. I was deeply unsure what triggered this behavior. Was it heightened surveillance while I was in the PIP, or was it harassment and bullying? Until today, I have yet cracked it, and I had made peace knowing it's okay if I don't figure it out. In life, we have to move on. After I had found out the individual checked on my website browsing, I knew this was an alleged abuse of power, and it was time to leave. I quit shortly after and told myself that it's okay. Your mental health is worth more than this, and money can be earned back again in other ways. Told myself that this journey was just not meant for me. I want to add that some of the feelings that I had during this entire saga was a lot of feelings of anxiety, of disgust, of wariness. I was just conscious and cautious of whoever I spoke to within Company X, and I was worried that anything I would do would just offend someone, and that would leave me to be terminated from my role, even though it had nothing to do with what I was doing from the day-to-day basis. I really felt very stressed during the time there. I wanted to fall sick every single week. I wanted to be away. I wanted to be free. And I've come a long way since then, and I've decided that that's not something humans should do to each other. And in fact, we should all be kind to each other, encouraging, and we should try and best communicate our intentions towards others. And there were many better ways that Company X could have handled this situation. But yes, like I said, I've made peace with this entire thing. And I just hope that if anyone is going through something like this as well, please know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there's always options, there's always a way out, there's always a solution to every single problem, and I hope life is not too hard on you. This was, one of the toughest things I had to learn in my 20s, and now that I'm here at the end of it, I'm glad I went through it, and I'm here now speaking about my experience to you guys. I understood that there are many paths to success, and decided that this time round, maybe I was just not meant to be in the corporate world, or maybe I was just pushed to become my own boss and to be an entrepreneur on my own. So I had pursued this case back at the point in time to escalate the situation, but I believe no actions have been taken against the individual in Company X, and that they are still repeating this toxic behavior and in other ways too. I have since not spoken to the individual and have just lived my life as a creator. I also went around in my head many times whether to share this story online or not, but I decided to because I think in my heart I may be able to help others who may be going through similar things that I have, and that my words may be able to help them in some way or other. Also, I know this story is heavy, but I want you to know that I'm a lot happier now, pursuing my role as a full-time digital creator, and I've since forgotten and forgiven all that has happened to me. Therefore, I closed the chapter for myself, and I didn't really want to share much of it because I was over the whole thing. So if you've watched until this point, thank you so much for your generosity and time. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!